Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us today. First of all,
Thank you.
You call yourself, Factory of the Future. What does that mean for Bosch Rexroth? And explain to us when you say Factory of the Future, where does Bosch Rexroth fit in?
Of course, I mean, Bosch and Bosch Rexroth are one of the pioneers of concept of Industry 4.0 and the Factory of the Future. So when we say Factory of the Future is what we envision how factories will start running in the near future. Mm-hmm. Even some of these ideas are already implemented in our own factories. So it's not just plain ideas, some of them are envisioned and actually applied in some of the factories.
Sure.
So Factory of the Future is, let's say, bringing the IT world closer and closer to the actual application world. This has been done before, it's not brand new, but the idea here is not just IT, is bringing the data. The more data you collect and the more data you compute, the more you're able to resolve and get rid of pain points.
So when you say what we envision, what Bosch Rexroth envisions for the future, what their factory will look like in the future, how will that look versus today?
There will be a lot of new ideas related to more, of course, automation has already been there, but more allowing the machine to learn it on its own. So there are some examples out there where the machine gets to start learning, be more smart by sensors, by software, by learning from previous things, and then start predicting and doing on its own. It's more connected. Sure. Connectivity is quite big, meaning that with smart devices. Let's say we're talking about more open core, so more connection between different suppliers and vendors, being able to supply and then easily connecting between the different controllers. We see more easier integration upward and downward. More recognizing of the operator, so the human and the machine are much closer than what they are now. So the machine can recognize the employee or the operator, and then it can actually predict behaviors, and it can even instruct and give ideas.
So this is all sort of related to the fourth industrial revolution. Yes. As well,
Yes.
that sort of merging of robotics, artificial intelligence, and
Yes.
IoT,
Yes.
and manpower as well.
Exactly.
What is the risk of one day, I mean, if everything becomes, if the factory of the future becomes fully automated, what are people going to do?
Oh, I think this is always the question. Every time there is a revolution, maybe some jobs are being replaced by some of the automation. That's a given, but there's always other jobs that are created in a similar field.
Sure.
So this never means that the machine will be running by itself, or the factory. There will be jobs, a lot of jobs created to develop, to operate, to think more and come up with more innovative idea in that field. So I just heard the number of 120 million jobs or something that will be created related to the IoT in the world or something. So I can't pinpoint the figure, but there's some big figures that they're talking about as far as development and as far as coming up with more ideas. Just imagine you as an operator walking into a factory, and this station that you're working on will know who you are, will read your tag, and then it will adjust the height accordingly, it will adjust the language accordingly, and it will, let's say, instruct you on what to do. That will minimize problems and then will improve the quality in a different way.
Well, let's talk about today and Bosch Rexroth in the Middle East at the moment. What are sort of the activities and the line of your business here in the region at the moment?
Yeah, so Bosch Rexroth is part of the Bosch company, of course, but Bosch Rexroth specifically is focusing on industrial application. In, let's say, in steel plants, aluminum plants, let's say metallurgy, heavy industry. We're also working in the light automation or factory automation, in assembly related applications, or let's say packaging, printing, plastic machineries and such. So we exist into the machines themselves. So we sell drive and control solutions related to these machines. So it's more for us in that field of more of an end user market. So we work, that's why, for example, Industry 4.0 is important, because a lot of the end users are asking for more ways to become more efficient in production.
Sure.
So ideas and products can be sold into that field of retrofit, modernization, more aftermarket concepts rather than machine building, because the machine builders are, not many of them are located here in the region.
Exactly, and that's another point I wanted to bring up. We spoke some time ago about the OEM market here and how you would love it if that became more advanced, or if there was more of an OEM market in the Middle East region.
Of course.
Is there opportunity here? Can manufacturers come to this market? Can OEMs come to this market?
I believe so. I mean, I believe that the market is a good size, if you look at the Middle East as a whole, to be able to support such activities, that machine builders can start building some of these machines here locally. Maybe not all the different segments, but maybe specific segments that there is quite of activity, quite of a pull from the end users to have local building activities. And I believe that eventually this will happen, because the bigger the industrialization happening in the region, in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE, also in the countries in the region, the more OEM will see this as a lucrative market to come and be closer to the customers. Now they're doing it by means of having own offices, sales, services, spare parts and such, but I also believe that eventually maybe they will start doing some of the building activities here maybe.
Sure, and of course I guess when we're talking about manufacturing, I mean F&B sector already must be quite well advanced here. I mean everyone needs to eat food, and FMCG market as well, I suppose. That would be quite a big industry, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I mean, of course, food and packaging is one of the, I think, let's say the growing markets here, the one of the big segments here that's growing in high proportion comparing to the others, because population is increasing. And
everyone's got to eat, right?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting market for OEMs.
Yeah, sure. You're here at SBS Automation Middle East, one of the launch partners, in fact. Debut show here in Dubai at Festival Arena. The only automation industry events that covers all aspect of automation in one sort of under one roof. Why is it important for Bosch Rexroth to be here this week?
Oh, I mean SBS. I mean I visited SBS in Germany before, so to us SBS is one of the main events in Europe that covers our, let's say, industrial controls and drive market. And then when we were told that SBS will be also happening here, so it's definitely interesting for us, because this is where we see it's a good platform to display our products and solution, to talk to the people that understands the level of details that we offer in Industry 4.0. We already had very good discussions, detailed discussions about Industry 4.0, what it means, and some plans of some customers and what they want to do. So it means a lot. It's the first day. We're looking forward for the next day, and we look forward for a successful event.
And I'm sure, I'd imagine you already sort of met your own clients, your existing clients. You probably invited them to your stands. Aside from your existing clients, who would you ideally like to meet at the show?
I would like to see. I mean, we've seen some system integrators, some people in the building automation. I would like to also see some end users, some big end users that are coming in and seeing what technologies are out there as far as controls and drives. So that way, then when they want to buy a machine in the future, they can think of all these new technologies that are happening and how they want these technologies to be implemented on their future machines.
And when you say end users, more specific, who would
packaging end users, companies that are in the printing industry, even maybe some government entities that can also see how a lot of the European or industrial companies are, what technologies are they developing, and how can that affect the industrialization, which is a very big part in their vision to also have a more industrialized countries.
Sure. And you have quite a nice visualization of your sort of product portfolio here.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look at some of your, I guess, sellers, I guess we could call it. I mean, it covers the whole sort of supply chain of Bosch Rexroth, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the supply chain of Bosch Rexroth is quite big, and this is focusing more on the, let's say, the IoT part of it. We wanted to show, so thanks to Zain, we have this nice display showing different solutions related to Industry 4.0. So showing exactly where these different products fit into the production. And this one that we just saw, which was the active cockpit, and then we just closed it. So this one is more of the way to meet next to the machine. Before you sat in a meeting room, now you can meet next to the machine with an active online display showing what's going on that machine, a different machine, productivity, efficiency, and then you can make quick, small, detailed decision right there on the spot to improve, to make your machine better. Another one is this APAS assistant.
Okay.
So this is actually a robot, but this is the skin there is sensitive. So usually robotic application, a lot of the robotic application, you have a lot of safety standards where they have to be enclosed in a cage. Where this APAS assistant it's a robot that can be working alongside with human. So this is the kind of solution we have here, where you can be assembling something and then he can grab something for you, put it for you on the table. So it's more of a robot system rather than like the conventional robot that we see. You
could see this being quite useful in materials handling, for example.
Yes, a lot.
Logistics and
this is very interesting.
Warehousing and whatnot. Yeah.
Absolutely. We also have solutions for logistic, which is called the active shuttle.
Yeah.
So this is the RFID, which is showing. This RFID is a very well-known technology from before. So basically, using RFID to your advantage, you can do a lot with RFID. You can scan, get information about the product with low cost, and then you can put some sensors to identify and make your process much easier with RFID. So just recognizing each product with an RFID tag is the way many factories are working.